It's time to take the Pfaff Creative 4.5 sewing machine to an embroidery machine. So right now you'll notice that on the screen it's just set up for a straight stitch, but I have already removed the presser foot. Next you'll want to slide off the accessory box and just double check that on the underneath side of the embroidery module there is no red clip. This should have been taken off by your store, but for any reason it's not, go ahead and pull it out and throw it away. So there goes mine. And then just go ahead and slide the embroidery unit on until it fully clicks into place. Now, if the machine is already on, you can use the two buttons at the bottom here to toggle over to the embroidery side. So touch the picture of the hoop and that will bring us from sewing over to embroidery. Now if you've already plugged this in and then turned the machine on, it will automatically power up and come directly to the first screen, which says remove hoop. So I have no hoop here. Clear the embroidery arm for calibration. Now what that means is make sure you don't have your fluffy cat sitting here, a water bottle, your coffee cup. Make sure that you've got plenty of room around the embroidery unit, because as soon as you touch that check mark, things are going to move just a little bit and get everything ready for your first embroidery design. That is a normal sound every morning at our store. We turn the machines on, touch that confirmation number, and we're ready to go. You'll notice that you actually have 3 hoops that came with this machine. As you pick a design, it will recommend one of those hoops, and you then can hoop up the closest hoop to the design you're working on. So if you're doing a really big design, well, that's obvious. But if you're doing a small design, you don't have to use as much stabilizer. We are going to get into how to hoop your fabric, what accessories that you're going to need, and things that I've already got kind of pulled out for right now. You are going to want to pull out the 6D embroidery foot. I've already put in an embroidery needle. There is one in the variety pack that came with your machine, a size 90. But you're definitely going to need more than one, so make sure you pick up lots of embroidery needles. They come in 75s or 90s. They are extra sharp, but you can go ahead and attach this. Make sure that little arm here is above the needle screw, and as you kind of slide it in, there is a screw in the back that you want to tighten so it doesn't come loose. The other thing is when you did go to the embroidery section, the feed dog's automatically lowered. So you and I don't have to do any lowering. As soon as we take the embroidery unit off or go back to the sewing side, those feed dogs will come up for regular sewing. Go ahead and find good quality bobbin thread and wind yourself a bobbin. Now, not just one bobbin. You know what I do is I usually wind all the thread that I buy onto bobbins. So buy a couple extra packs of bobbins, wind all your bobbin thread. You're going to keep using them, and white is pretty common for embroidery work. Embroidery threads, you will find a difference in quality. If you did not pay much for them, they may not be up to standard. I love polyester thread because it's strong, it's color fast. These machines run quick, and I want a thread that can keep up with that. I know there's rayon thread. It's not as strong, but it's very pretty. So find what works for you. For me, I'm a polyester girl. Some curved embroidery scissors, a screwdriver to make sure things stay cleaned out and also to get your needles in and out. And then if you need a spool cap to put on for your threads. Now I will tell you, I prefer a thread stand. From Pfaff, you can get a single thread stand holder, and it puts the thread up to a kind of a top lever and then over to the first guide. Then you don't have to mess with these little thread spool caps, because those always end up on the floor for me. Or you can get one of the multiple spool holders that will attach to this machine, and then you can kind of line up your threads ready to go. If you're moving designs from your computer, a CD, something you downloaded to your USB stick, this machine will open up multiple formats. Usually I'll put a VP3 format on it, but it will open PES, EXP, DST, many of the common formats that you will find these days. So if you don't have the VP3 and from an older collection, that's okay. You can use one of those other designs. So that should get you started. Let's start by embroidering something from the built-in designs. This entire book is all the designs that you have built into the machine. Plus we have 3 different fonts that we'll also be playing with, and I'll show you a bunch about lettering options. So let's get started.